Good afternoon. On behalf of the Natrona County Emergency Operations Center, thank you for joining us for today's COVID-19 response news brief. Following today's broadcast, we'll be copying the prepared statements into the text body of our Facebook Live and YouTube live streams. Also, for those joining us online, if you have any questions or concerns, we encourage you to write those in the comment section of the live stream, and we will do our best to answer your question online as quickly as we can. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Friel, and I serve as the mayor of the city of Casper. To adhere with social distancing guidelines, city council meetings will be conducted through GoToMeeting. We intend to conduct the business of the public as best we can. Public input for the meetings will be accepted through phone calls and emails prior to the meeting. Public input can also be submitted during the meeting by calling or emailing. The meetings will continue to be streamed on YouTube Live as well as cable channel 192. This new way of streaming meetings began with our March 24th work session. We've equipped each council member with the technology needed to hear and see the information being presented, as well as the ability to ask questions and participate in discussion. As the mayor, I'll be physically in council chambers conducting the meeting. Most times, our vice mayor and key staff will be in the chambers as well. Citizens may call in from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. the first and third Mondays and Tuesdays to schedule a call for the regular council meetings. Staff will take contact information and then arrange for a callback during the meeting. If a citizen does not schedule a callback in advance, calls will also be taken beginning at 6 p.m. by staff and transferred to council during the public comment or public hearing. The phone number for public comment is 307-235-8215. Citizens can also make comments to council ahead of time via email at councilcomments@casperwy.gov. I am kindly requesting that those who plan to speak call in ahead of the meeting in order to help maintain efficiency and flow during the meeting. Those who are not able to schedule a call prior to the meeting will still be accommodated, although they may have to hold in order to sequence the calls. We also have an update from Municipal Court. The Casper Municipal Court is adopting an order issued by the Wyoming Supreme Court. On April 1st, 2020, Michael K. Davis, Wyoming Supreme Chief Justice, issued an order extending COVID-19 emergency orders to May 31st, 2020. The Wyoming Supreme Court will adopt this extension, implementing measures to protect the health and welfare of the public and court personnel throughout Wyoming, while still permitting the essential functions to proceed in a timely manner. The Casper Municipal Court is adopting this order and will be rescheduling any previously scheduled hearings into June. If you have a previously scheduled court hearing, you will be receiving a call prior to your hearing. If you do not receive a call, please call the municipal court and leave a message at 307-235-8267. If you wish to make a payment, you can pay by mailing your payment to 200 North David Street, Casper, Wyoming 82601, online at caspertix.com, by phone at 1-877-794-1215, or you can drop a payment at the drive-up window at City Hall, which is labeled City Parking Tickets. When dropping off payments, please include your name, date of birth, charge, current mailing address, and citation number. Payments will be processed daily, and a receipt will be mailed to the address provided. If you have any questions regarding payments, charge information, rescheduling hearings, wishing to submit proof of a driver's license, insurance, registration, or any other general questions, please call and leave a message at 307-235-8267, or please email municourtclerk@cityofcasperwy.com. For more information regarding the Wyoming Supreme Court emergency orders, it can be found at courts.state.wy.us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Haley Bloom with the Casper Natrona County Health Department. Thank you for joining us today and for your assistance in providing and disseminating up-to-date factual information surrounding coronavirus, otherwise known as COVID-19. As of this morning, across our state, there have been 3,929 tests performed, 210 confirmed positive cases, and 52 of those statewide positives have now recovered. As of this morning, 4 Natrona County residents have also recovered. The Department of Health recently released guidelines surrounding what they use to define recovery. A case is defined as recovered when there is resolution of fever without the use of fever-reducing medications, and there is improvement in respiratory symptoms such as cough and shortness of breath for 72 hours and at least 7 days have passed since symptoms first appeared. This weekend, the Casper Natrona County Health Department received confirmation of 2 additional cases and then an additional 2 cases this morning. This brings the total to 25 positive COVID-19 cases in Natrona County. Recently, the Wyoming Department of Health issued guidance on what they are considering as an exposure to COVID-19. It is likely that you need to be in direct, close contact with someone with COVID-19 when they have symptoms or during the 48 hours or 2 days before they develop symptoms to get infected. Close contact includes living in the same household as a sick person with COVID-19, caring for a sick person with COVID-19, being within 6 feet of a sick person with COVID-19 for 10 minutes or longer, or being in direct contact with respiratory droplets from a sick person with COVID-19, for example, being coughed on or sneezed on or sharing utensils. There have been many questions surrounding if we would be releasing all of the locations and dates anyone who tested positive has been in the community in the days leading up to their positive test result. The reason we do not do this is because the risk or possibility of getting ill from this type of exposure is extremely unlikely and very low. Your best defense while out in public places is to limit trips out, limit trips to 1 adult per household, use hand sanitizer, wipe down shopping carts, and maintain social distance from others. Here's what we know about the most recent cases. Case number 22 is a female in her 50s whose exposure is believed to be related to affiliation with Wyoming Behavioral Institute. Case number 23 is a male in his 20s whose exposure is believed to be related to affiliation with WBI. Case number 24 is a male in his 50s whose exposure is believed to be related to affiliation with WBI. Case number 25 is a female in her 70s whose exposure is unknown. With the current information about the current positive cases in Natrona County, we believe we have identified 3 epidemiologically connected clusters of cases. Cluster 1 is connected to travel within the state of Wyoming with 3 positive cases. Cluster 2 is connected to international travel with 3 positive cases. Cluster 3 is connected to Wyoming Behavioral Institute, a residential healthcare facility with 12 positive cases.
This means that 18 out of the 25 cases in Natrona County can be tied to 3 groups of a positive origin. In total, there have been 456 tests performed in Natrona County between the 2 main medical testing facilities of Wyoming Medical Center and the Casper Natrona County Health Department. Of that, 389 were confirmed negative, 25 have been confirmed positive, and we are still pending results of 42 tests. The CDC recently changed their guidance surrounding wearing face coverings or masks in public. The CDC recommends wearing cloth face coverings in public settings where other social distancing measures are difficult to maintain, such as grocery stores or pharmacies, especially in areas of significant community-based transmission. CDC also advises the use of simple cloth face coverings to slow the spread of virus and help people who may have the virus and do not know it from transmitting it to others. Cloth face coverings fashioned from household items or made at home from common materials at low cost can be used as an additional voluntary public health measure. Cloth face coverings should not be placed on young children under the age of 2, anyone who has trouble breathing or is unconscious, incapacitated, or otherwise unable to remove the mask without assistance. The cloth face coverings recommended are not surgical masks or N95 respirators. Those are critical supplies that must continue to be reserved for healthcare workers and other medical first responders, as recommended by the current CDC guidance. There are instructions on how to sew a cloth face covering or make one out of household materials on the CDC website. The Casper Natrona County Health Department hotline and the Wyoming Medical Center Respiratory Clinic are still the recommended resources for those experiencing symptoms. The hotline number is 577-9892 and is operating Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please call ahead prior to arriving at any healthcare facility so appropriate precautions can be taken. We do not want citizens self-reporting to the emergency room. If you're experiencing significant shortness of breath, please call 911. Due to an increase in call volume, if you need help with information, events, or things unrelated to symptoms, you may contact us at covid@cnchd.org. We are responding to emails as quickly as we can. Thank you for your ongoing efforts to fight this virus in our community. The sacrifices you are making by staying home and social distancing are making a difference. We will now take any questions anyone may have.
The first question that we have today is from Brendan LaChance with Oil City News, and it is for Haley with the Health Department. Brendan asks, people are still able to go outside for walks on trails or go to city parks. When a lot of people are on trails or in a park, is there a concern that people should pay special attention to social distancing guidelines? Should people be aware of touching benches or other hard surfaces in public spaces?
Thanks for that question. So we are recommending that people obviously aren't gathering outside or in parks. Of course, it's reasonable for a family or a child and a parent to go to parks and enjoy some time outside. We do recommend that people pay attention to social distancing, so trying to stay away from other groups as much as they can. As far as surfaces, there isn't a ton of concern surrounding those surfaces, but of course we're recommending that people are washing their hands using hand gel. So as soon as they return from those parks, washing their hands as soon as they get home.
Thank you, Haley. We also had another question that, just for the record, we will defer to WBI and get that information for everybody, but the question that came from Facebook is, will WBI still accept patients while they are still having positive COVID testing among people with association to WBI. So that is from Carol on Facebook. Carol, we will reach out to WBI and work on getting that answer for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We did receive one other question from Facebook, and if you'll bear with me here, I will find it. It says, where are all the places people are quarantining besides Sage School? So I just want to clarify here that at this time, there is no quarantine situation happening at Sage School. We are working with Westwood Facility as a location for individuals waiting on their COVID test results. So this is for somebody who got a COVID test and they don't have the ability to isolate elsewhere, and so they are staying at Westwood Facility until they receive that test back. At that given time, they are either going home to self-isolate or, of course, if the test is negative, carrying on with their normal duties. So at this time, this does conclude today's Natrona County Emergency Operations Center news brief. You can rewatch the full broadcast on the City of Casper YouTube channel or Casper Natrona County Health Department Facebook page. We're still working diligently to continue to prepare our community to stay as healthy and safe as possible through this pandemic. We want to acknowledge all of you who are doing everything you can to slow the spread and flatten the curve. It is crucial that we continue to adhere to these guidelines to protect ourselves and each other. Our next news brief will be on Wednesday, April 8th at 3 p.m. Until then, please keep yourselves and your families healthy and safe. Thank you.